All right, guys, why not? Let's do this Meghan speech. I think I covered this a little bit before, but I never did a full live reaction, so let's get to it a little bit. It starts with the introduction, but the introduction itself is pretty funny.
And since then joined us in Ottawa in 2016,
He's talking about other speeches she's given.
She's an incredibly powerful voice for gender equality.
What does that mean?
She spoke about in Dublin in 2014. And she continues to speak out and advocate for women's
This guy, by the way, is very weak body language.
Her new podcast, Archetypes, just topped the Spotify charts around the world. And
Get it? So I think this guy presenting is really lame. He has bad body language. He's way over talking. And you know what, honestly, the read I get on him, I'll tell you, there's some guys, I don't think they know anything about like women's rights or feminism, but they'll just agree with anything because they're desperate to be liked. That's the vibe I get from this guy, because he's just saying she's the best ever, she's done everything great, with nothing specific, with his like really lame body language. So I think he's just a guy who, it's his way to pander to get a career or to be liked or whatever. I don't think he actually really cares.
With another incredible, powerful woman, in fact the greatest athlete or greatest tennis player of all time, Serena Williams. So please.
You saw Meghan looked away. That's really funny. So she likes to say she's friends with Serena Williams because it raises her status, but just hearing someone else mention, she looked away, and then look at her face. She looks so mad. She's like furious that he mentioned someone else.
A very warm One Young World welcome to the co-founder of Archwell, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex.
All right, let's see here. I think that's not a very nice dress or whatever it is.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is very nice to
be back. Real quick, just speech breakdown. The saying like good evening, normally it's not a very good open. Having like something interesting generally is good for a speech. Or if you're going to do it, it's got to be casual.
UK. And it is very nice to be back with all of you at One Young World. As you'll likely hear many times this week, look, as we just heard, you'll hear all sorts of things.
It's kind of redundant.
Some very heavy, some very uplifting, but the resounding spirit I believe you will hear is that you are the future.
All right, let's see.
But I would like to add to that you are also the present.
Okay.
You are the ones driving the positive and necessary change needed across the globe now in this very moment. And for that,
she's saying basically nothing, and it's very stilted, it's very practiced, which again, you want to practice your speeches, but you don't want them to be too wooden. My suspicion is that she just doesn't care at all. This is her scripted part, and then you'll see her get more into it when she starts talking about herself. Also, what is this One World Summit? Maybe some of you could tell me more about what it is. I don't know how she got in it. It seems like she took any in she could get. Like she used to take, what was it, like erotic advertisements for hamburgers. That was one of her jobs, and now she took this, just anything that could get her in front of people.
I'm so grateful to be in your company today. It was several years ago in 2014 that I was first invited to be a counselor.
So that's exactly, she did lip service, like, oh, I'm so glad to meet you guys, and you guys are the future, just couldn't care less. And now she's like, so, the first time now here we go.
One Young World. And in many ways at the time, I was probably a lot like each of you. Young,
framing herself as their hero.
Advocating for the things I deeply and profoundly believed in.
She's so full of it.
And also looking around and wondering, how on earth did I get here?
I don't know.
Have any of you today so far had that feeling, that pinch me moment where you just go, how am I here? Oh, it's a lot. And at that dinner, there were about 20 to 30 of us for the counselors. And there I was the girl from Suits.
Well, yeah.
And I was surrounded by world leaders, humanitarians, prime ministers, and activists that I had such a deep...
No names, no details. She's just using titles of high status positions. So I believe that is more so I'm around all this greatness because I'm high status, but not really caring at all. If you're really talking about being around your idol, like someone who's your idol, like, wow, I met, this amazing person, you'll be a little more excited, you'll be more specific. So again, whenever she's talking not about herself, it seems very ingenuine.
And long-standing respect and admiration for.
See, that's so wooden.
And I was invited to pull up a seat at the table.
Yeah. Wait, didn't Lily Singh do the exact same speech about seat at the table? And they're both wearing really ugly, like, I don't even know what color that's supposed to be. Like, it's like makes you stressed to look at it.
So overwhelmed by this experience, I think I even saved my little paper place card that said my name on it.
Of course you did.
Just proof that I was there.
This speech is about nothing. It's very boring.
That I belonged. Because the truth was, I wasn't sure that I belonged.
So this is a useless, worthless speech. There is no reason to listen to this. Now, even if it's directed at young women, I'm not a woman, I could still listen to a speech that's inspiring, that's not directed at me, and learn from it and be inspired by it, right? But there's nothing inspiring here. She's just talking about herself. There's no, like, how to dream, what you can do for yourself. It's just lip service to various, speaking of others, and then just bragging, and it's just boring. It's like if you're at a party and someone corners you and they just won't stop, like, talking about themselves and you're trying to get away.
I was so nervous. I doubted myself, and I wondered if I was good enough to even be there, if what I was doing in the world, albeit important and meaningful as far as I saw it, was it deserving to have a seat at this table? But one young world saw in me what I wanted to see fully in myself.
So you can talk about emotions. It could be great. Like, I was afraid and I overcame it, because you're trying to make other people inspired to overcome their emotions, or humanizing yourself, like showing like, hey, it's not easy. But it's more of a story of her greatness. It's like, I overcame my fear because I'm great, and one world saw how great I was. It's just really unpleasant. Oh my gosh. And I wonder if I'll get, again, not the consistent viewers, some haters, and they'll say, oh, you don't like her because of this and that. It's like, how could you listen to that and find this an enjoyable speech? Like, what benefit is it?
In me, just as I see in you.
Okay, that's nice.
The present and the future.
So, again, when she talks about other people, it's very much of a rehearsed wooden line. There's no real conviction, and it's just with this, like, cadence that's very repetitive.
And I reiterate that point because oftentimes we speak to young adults about the years ahead, about what you'll do, what you'll have to adopt to fix from previous generations, and also what legacy you will leave.
So I think that's part of her too, is she just wanted lots of attention to be an actress and all that, and she doesn't have the skill set of a great speaker or a great actress, but she had the belief that she deserved everything that comes with being great.
But too often in that, we neglect the point that you're doing it now. You here, in this present moment, this is where it's all beginning. The first year I joined the delegation.
So again, like, she says a few sentences and then, back to me. First year I joined the delegation. So quick last thing I'll say on that as well. When I was mentioning her not having the skill set, I think Harry also doesn't have many impressive skills. And you may have heard, I believe there's the book, is it Mindset? By Carol Dweck? I might be getting that wrong, but I believe it's Mindset, and it talks about a growth mindset. And the important thing about growth mindset is actually not thinking I'm great and I deserve things, it's I can get better. So I think the narcissism and thinking they're just great and deserve everything actually makes their skills worse, because it's like, I deserve this attention, I should be listened to, rather than let me build my skill set and get better so that people want to listen to me. So that narcissism feeds the unpleasant personality, the not being a good performer or speaker. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you soon.
My friend's dad went to boarding school with Prince Harry,